time, where we take this worldwide. Let's go. Listen. So now it's time to turn it up. Surf the radio waves as we begin to burn it up. We all up in your area like landscape, definitely bringing you the pancakes. It's a mandate that you tune in. It's time to move out so we can move in and recognize that this is no illusion. I'm here to clear the air so that there is no confusion. It all started off in the book of Genesis when Jacob was wrestling with who he thought was his nemesis. And when the man saw he couldn't overpower him, he touched his hip but he really couldn't devour him. And from that point, then we hear a name change, rearrange the game, so now we gotta change lanes. So I'm here to let you know it's time to listen to the Pancake and Powerslam show. Let's go! Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam show. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam show. Turn it up.
What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone here once again. Let me know if you can hear that music. Let me know if you can hear that. What's up, Marissa? What's up, Jeffrey? What's up, Elvis? What's up, Brandon? What's up, Paul? What's up, Gabriel? PNP Nation's lit tonight. Let me know if y'all can hear that background music. Can you hear that? Car, what's up, Car? Can y'all hear that? Let me see if I can hear that. Let me know if you can hear that background music. Well, I'm trying something right now. Let me know if you can hear that music. Paul, you can hear it? Carm, no. Paul, yes. Let me know if you can hear that music right now. I'm playing music right now, actually. So let me know if you can hear that music. Hop on barely, Justin says. How about right there? Can you hear it now? Can you hear it? Marissa can hear it. John, no. I'll turn it up. Let me know if you can hear that part. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Like now, no, not heard. I can hear a tiny bit, barely though. No, Justin, no. Okay. I just wanted to try something different and see if I can play some background music on here. James can hear it. I don't know why some can hear it, but some can't. Okay. Some can, but some can't. Some can, but some can't. There should be people joining you, Carm, but it looks like chat can hear it loud and clear. Okay. Let me turn it up a little bit more, see if we can hear it. I turned it up more. Let me see if we can hear that part. Can you guys hear it now? Turn it up. I turned it up more. Chat can hear it. Brendan can hear it a bit. James can hear it. Let me know. Let me know if before y'all start the Ask Chris questions or the Ask Dr. Chris questions. Let me know if y'all can hear that though. I want to see if I can play this real quick. Justin barely. Elvis a little. Okay. Very low for Gabriel. Yeah, it's supposed to be a little low, but that's cool. All right. I'll get it to work. Interesting. See, John can hear it now. Interesting. I can hear it softly like background restaurant music. Okay, that's what I want. Okay, that's what I wanted. I want it. I want it. I wanted that. I feel like I'm in. I wanted that type of. I wanted that music. I wanted that in the back there. So I wanted to know if y'all can hear that. Let me bring myself up on YouTube to see if I can hear. See if I could hear it. See what I was. See where I was at. What's up, Aaron? Okay, y'all know how it is. Ask Dr. Chris. Let me see if I could. Let me see if I can hear myself real quick though, because I wanted to make sure that I heard something. I want to know if I heard something. Yeah, I'm about to play this real quick and see if I can hear it. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't hear it. I'm playing it. Yeah, very, very low. Okay. I see where y'all going. I see what y'all saying. Very low. Okay, cool. So PNP Nation, how is life? We are taking current shop. We're gonna have some Ask Chris questions. Yeah, we're gonna talk about some Survivor Series. We're gonna review Survivor Series 1990. So that's where we're gonna be at. Elvis said, I wish I had better news for you, but on Thursday, a guy I knew for a short amount of time, Ron, actually her son of God, and a church leader passed away. Then my cousin died me today. The girlfriend passed away yesterday. She was in her 30s. Man, Elvis, you bring the somber news all the time, man. I pray for the that's again sad to hear. Man. Yeah, Elvis. I you can probably message me if you want, but I hope that you're in some therapy, man. Like I mean, and I'm saying this as a doctor. I'm a psychotherapist, um, so yeah, and people usually use that as take that as a negative thing, but it's not. It's very positive. It's a sign of strength. So I'm just saying, like, man, I would hope that you're in some therapy because you give me like death news every week. So that's a lot to bear. That's a lot to handle, man. So, yeah, man. If message me on IG or something like that. If you need some, if you want some assistance, some help for me to help you kind of cope with that stuff, man. Because you be having a rough all the time. So that's sorry to hear that, man. Very sorry to hear that. Ask Dr. Chris. That is the hashtag that I will pay attention to from now on. Thank you, Elvis. Thank you, Elvis. Ask Dr. Chris. I'm looking for your. I only hear the Rocks theme music. Is this a problem? Yes, it is. It is a good It is a problem. Good, Elvis. But I'm here, man. I'm here. Oh yeah, Paul. Yeah, man. You missed the memo. Yeah, man. I've been a doctor since September. Yeah, I've been a doctor since September. I am officially. See that? Asked and answer. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, man. It's a great achievement. So funny, man. I went through 5 years, 5 years of hell, just to have these two little letters in front of my name. I wrote actually a book. All the trauma that I go through, studies, 5 years of studies. And this thing right here, this book that I wrote for this for this. But yeah, man, it's actually available online. That's the topic of my book. It's a dissertation. Actually, it's a dissertation that became in book form. It is a phenomenological study of Christian conversion and recidivism in ex-prisoners. For those who know, I am unashamedly Christian, and my master's degrees in theological studies, and integrate theology and forensic psychology. And here's my book. This is my book. And some really, really cool stuff here. Some really important information that can be utilized for goodness. I actually, what's really cool? I went back to school just to get another degree in criminal justice with a specialization in behavioral sciences, and so it's so funny because there's a big overlap. There's a big overlap. Paul, you're funny. There's a big overlap within my doctor's in forensic psychology, and the master's degree that I'm getting now is criminal justice with a specialization in behavioral sciences, just to kind of continue to swell up my resume. It's about it's a nice extra, extra amount on my paycheck when I graduated, because it'll be because right now I'm a doctor in psychology, so I'm doing more psychotherapy, but this will expand more to do the criminology, criminal profile, and criminal investigating, things like that. And it's so funny because thanks, Carm, appreciate it. What's so funny is that when I search certain things now, as far as like scholarly work on the overlap of religion and psychology, because I'm using that angle a lot with my current work with criminology. My material come up. My book comes up and scholarly work now. I was like, I was searching my stuff. I was doing my final project on last week, and I was searching, and I saw like the third one was my dissertation. I said, "Whoa, that's really cool." So it's very surreal. All right, Justin's asking top 5 favorite WWE wrestlers all time. Okay, Justin. First of all, we always give our first timers some love. So, is this your first timer? Is this your first time joining the show, Justin? We want to give you some love. Thank you, Tyler. Okay, so here's my top 5 wrestlers of all time. All right, let me bring up an online. Let me bring up a notepad. Okay. And I'm actually going to put this on here for you. All right. I'm going to put my top 5 on here for you. And I'm going to show it. This has been my top 5 of all time. I'll just give you. Okay, so top 5 favorite WWE. Okay, so I'll stick to your top. I'll stick to your. I really don't have a specific top 5 WWE. I have a top 5 all time as far as WWE. I would say probably number 1 all time would be. Because 4 of my top 5 is like at least 3 of my top 5 are WCW guys. and WCW, NWA guys, and then 4 and 5 were WCW and then became WWE guys. So I don't really have an exclusive WWE list. Let me trace. I had this conversation a while ago. Um, I had this conversation a while ago. Let me go back to the conversation. Actually, I had it in the group chat, and we talked about our top 5. Or I think we did like our all-time top 15. Yeah, I don't have it because it was an older tweet. I don't know. I would say probably you met Randy, Roddy Piper, Ricky Steamboat, and one other. I can't remember. It was so long ago. Nice. What year was it, Carm? Paul Hogan. Probably as a kid, yes. As a kid, for sure, Hogan was up there. But as far as an all time, if I had to make an all time, like in hindsight, right now, in my pro wrestling fandom, I've been watching WWE since probably 86, 85. So in hindsight, I would say probably. So I don't really have an order. I would say probably I have to really kind of think about that. As far as the top 5, as far as top 5 all time, like relatively speaking, right now, I would throw in Taker for sure. I would throw in Hogan just because he was, as a kid, he was top. That's a good question. So, I would certainly say Hogan's top 5 all time. Probably I would say Jericho's up there all time for sure, top 5, because he's in my top 5 all time. Period. Yeah. Okay. So let's do Taker. Let's do and this isn't necessarily, and this is 5, not like 5 all time, like in order, but it's the 5 I can think of right now would be like because I'm thinking WCW guy. I mean, I'm thinking WWE guys, guys who are WWE. Aaron's saying Sting, but Sting's not a WWE guy to me. Sting's my all-time favorite, but he's not a WWE guy. So I don't know. Okay, so let's do Taker. Let's do Hogan. Let's do Steamboat. No, because Steamboat's more of a WCW guy. Let's take him out. Savage. I would say that. Hogan, Savage, Taker. Ooh. I think I'm about to cheat, kind of, and add a tag team in there. My favorite WWE tag team of all time is probably the British Bulldogs, because my all-time favorite tag teams are WCW guys again. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because my all-time favorite's LOD. My second favorite all time is the Midnight Express. And then British Bulldogs, Harlem Heat, And yeah. I can't even think of. I had a top 5 tag team. I can't think of my 5th one though. But yeah, I don't know. Most of my favorites. Most of my all time favorites are WCW guys. So, all right. So hashtag Ask Dr. Chris. I will help you out with that. Those are the ones that stick out the most. I think I might be diplomatic on this one here. Demolition, no, Demolition were no, I wouldn't put them in my top 5. I was as a kid, I was kind of a back and forth Demolition fan. I would definitely say that they're one of the best WWE tag teams of all time. Just period. I think that they were the best, one of the best, as far as just teams that were known to be WWE. But they're not in my top 5, for sure. So, Elvis, top 5 fans or viewers on PMP. Elvis, you want to be one of them? Come on, you want to be one of them. Again, ask Dr. Chris. That's the hashtag. I don't know why people are saying other hashtags. This is the hashtag that I'll pay attention to. So that is so I'll wait for a few more, and then we'll talk about some 1990. Yes. Yes, indeed. For sure. That is definitely the truth, Paul. And special shout out to the patron members. Paul, I think you've got a couple months, like a month or two left, and I got a shirt that should be coming your way. Mo is an avid. He's also a patron. He has a shirt, and yeah, so you're about on the verge to get a shirt, Paul. So thanks so much for being a patron. And you'll be having a P&P shirt coming soon. So appreciates your donations, your monthly donations. Special shout out to Paul and all the other patrons. All right, yeah, let's get into this, Marissa. Let's see. So you know what? So my top 5 PNP are the patrons. they get first dibs of being in my top 5. So all the patrons I have, those are my top 5 because they show me that they. So my top tiers are on the top, and then Ricky, I believe he's a lower tier patron. So thanks, Ricky. All right, so let's go through Survivor here. Yeah, I know you're not in it for the apparel, and I appreciate that. That says a lot. I appreciate you just enjoying the show every week. But I decided to, it's one of those things that I want to give you some. I want to give you some love. I want to give you some acknowledgement of spending your hard-earned dollars on this show. So thank you very much, Paul. All right, so let's see. Let's do Team Raw versus Team Smack. Here's the thing. I don't care about these traditional matches. I've said before, I think Survivor Series there should be a stipulation that's involved with this. Period. Otherwise, this pay-per-view is just totally it's almost a bust for me. You'll take my book. Nice. good stuff, man. Let me know, man. I'll the hard copies are I charge for the hard copies. Let me know if you want it, and I think you would be. I think you would like it. I think you would like it. Yeah, I just don't care. Let's just go through them. Raw versus SmackDown. I think depending on who's going to be the fifth person, I guess maybe Raw, because the whole thing was all of this fighting just to win at the end, I guess. I would say Team SmackDown, because just the Team Raw's team is terrible. They're just making Lana look like a nobody, and then they're just throwing Peyton Royce and Lacey Evans in there. That was terrible. Lastly, over Zayn, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Street Profits over New Day. Actually, those are my top two favorite tag teams in pro wrestling. Period. Right now, actually. So, Asuka over Sasha Bank, as Tony Atlas would say. Sasha Bank. Speaking of impersonations, I didn't know I did a Tony Atlas impersonation. Sasha Bank. That's my Tony Atlas. Mark Henry. Mark Henry. See, Sasha Bank. I think Sasha Bank is gonna lose the match against Asuka. Sasha Bank is the SmackDown Women's Champion, but I think she's gonna lose the match. And I think that we're gonna see a screwy finish. I think that Drew's going to probably beat Roman by DQ because we're probably going to see Randy Orton interfere or something like that. Which I just don't think that. I think Drew versus Roman, it has much of a more marquee feel than Roman versus Randy. But Drew and Roman are two people you need to protect more than anybody right now. Two people. They're two people. Sound like just like him, Chris. I'm glad that. So hashtag ask Dr. Chris, and I will answer their questions. Yeah, I think it'll be a screwy finish. I just, Drew and Roman are your two biggest names right now. Why in the world would you do it on a pay-per-view that has been just buried for years now? There's just no. I mean, I want Survivor Series to stay, but I want the traditional Survivor Series matches to mean something. It has to mean something. I said this on the post-Raw show with Stevie Richards and company yesterday. I think there should be a stipulation. Stevie Richards had a pretty cool idea. For the losing team is the top 5 entrants, is the first 5 entrants in the Royal Rumble match, and I think that's actually pretty cool. But I would say though, December's a throwaway pay-per-view. I would make the stipulation much better. I would say the winning team gets to be a part. The winning team gets to challenge the world champion of the brand. And I would even say this. I would even say the top 5. I mean, the 5 winners gets to challenge the world champion of the opposite brand. Or we could even say the surviving members of each team gets to challenge the world champion of the opposite brand. So, for instance, say you have Team Raw win and Keith Lee and AJ Styles are the survivors. That means that Keith Lee and AJ Styles would be in a triple threat match against Roman Reigns next month in December. I mean, it's a throwaway paper. It's a throwaway pay-per-view anyways. It brings them more of a stipulation, and it would be even cool. Say Seth Rollins was the last, was the sole survivor of the whole match. That means that he would have the ability to go against Roman or Drew McIntyre next month in December, and that would be cool. That to me, that'd be pretty cool. Paul said maybe a gauntlet match. That would be pretty cool too. Maybe order of elimination. Perhaps that could be something. The sole survivor gets to be out last. That could be something. I like that idea, but I like the fact that you don't want to lose either. Like you don't want to lose on your team. So, if there's 3 survivors, if Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, and Corbin or the survivors of the match, all 3 of them get to face Drew next month in December. So, or if Riddle is the sole survivor, Riddle versus Reigns in December. So I think that would be pretty cool, actually. Some good Ask Chris questions. Let's tackle these real quick. Some Ask Dr. Chris questions. So those are my predictions. Marisa. Good question, Brandon. Who would you like to see back in WWE, if anyone? I would say. Okay, so here's my answer. I want to see one more Sting match. One more Sting match. I want him to retire on top. Just he said that he's in good shape. He's able to do one match, and I just want to see him one more time. I want to see Sting versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. I think that there's a story behind it. I think it creates perfect footage for WWE. Talk about the WWE Network. Talk about a chronicle. Talk about a multi-series type of thing. With Sting. They did really, really good with Taker. The last Ride series was fantastic. They could do something very similar with Sting. And this is what I would do. This is what I would do. I would have grab some water real quick. I would do this. I would have Sting versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. And if they're able to do Saudi again in 2021, I would have Sting's last match teaming up with The Undertaker against a heel tag team, such as probably Ziggler and Rude. There you go, Ziggler and Rude or something like that. Something that has like a feel-good into it. Because right now, you want to make footage for the network. You want to make that feel-good footage for the network. And I think that would be really, really good. I personally don't want to see Sting Taker anymore. I think that ship has sailed. I definitely don't want to see it at Mania because that'll be yet another Sting loss. And I think that Sting Taker would have similar implications or could have a similar outcome such as Sting Goldberg. Sting Goldberg was a very dream style match. Never happened. It was an absolute bust. Brothers of Destruction versus DX was another dreamy style match. Absolute bust. So I don't want to see that. I think the ship has sailed. I would rather not take the risk of seeing it and being utterly disappointed like I was with Taker Goldberg and then Brothers of Destruction and DX. I would rather not see it and just go into wrestling infamy saying this is the top fantasy match that never happened, but at least we got to see a tag team match with them too. I would rather do that than to see it and just be utterly disappointed. My all-time favorite wrestler is Sting. Stingy. All Are we shocked that Raw never invaded Survivor Series and vice versa? Yeah, that was a good point. They never. I mean, the only invasion was Drew, right? And it wasn't really an invasion. That's a good point. Yeah, just the setup for Survivor Series this year has been just terrible. Here's your Charles Barkley. It's been terrible. I've vaguely, I very shortly spoke with Steven Richards a few years ago in New Orleans, or was it Orlando? I was doing some coverage for WrestleMania. I was interviewing, I think it was in New Orleans. It was 34, I believe it was. I was doing some interviews. I interviewed Billy Gunn live, and they were at an indie show, and I was doing some coverage there, and I interviewed Billy Gunn, and Steven Richards was around me because Billy, I was interviewing Billy, and then Stevie was around. And it was just a really quick type of thing. So, but yeah, we actually been talking a lot today, actually, and he's actually a pretty cool guy. He's deceptively tall in real life because I'm 6'1", and he's about 6'2" and a half. He's deceptively tall. You don't really see that because he's smaller, but he's a tall dude. All right, I think that's the see exactly. And I've been saying this all the time. We're seeing another bragging rights pay-per-view. It's funny because bragging rights lasted what, a year or two. That's what I don't understand. You literally have. Let me look at the bragging rights series. Bragging rights was 2 years, 2009 and 2010. Oddly enough, 2014 was really the cutoff for Survivor Series as far as stipulations are concerned. But bragging rights lasted 2 years on purpose because it was a very bad pay-per-view, and we're seeing that. You know, a decade later, we're basically seeing bragging rights all over again. Exactly. Oh yeah. I haven't heard from Eric Rowan. I'm glad you reminded me of that. I'm gonna try it again. I do think there's going to be a ceiling. I think the Rascals have a lot of potential. I've actually been following Impact. Impact's actually pretty solid product. But I don't see too much. I don't see too much going on with them. Thank you. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Chad. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate that, Danny. Yeah, I just answered it. Sting. My all-time favorite is Sting. All right, so let's do some Survivor Series 2020. Survivor Series 1990. Okay. Let's do some 1990 Survivor, sir. It's the Survivor, sir. Let me look at it. All right, real quick. Let me check. Yeah, Rich Swann just won the title at Bound for Glory, which was pretty cool. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, with not anytime soon with this type of craziness and spike numbers, that's for sure. I mean, we had record numbers. We had a record number of cases on Friday. Record number of cases. I just thank God that I haven't been affected by any of that. I feel great, and thankfully, I mean, I pray for those who have been. The good part of it is, right, Danny. The good part of it is there's about a 98% survival rate. for COVID. So that's the good part of it. So I couldn't even tell you, Paul, when crowds are going to return. Not anytime soon, for sure. So, my man, lastly. All right. So, Survivor Series 1990. Let's just review that real quick. I just thought 1990 would be cool because that was the only year. That was actually another pretty cool stipulation. The winners of the multi-person matches did like an ultimate match at the end. I thought that's the only time that's the only time they've ever done that, and I thought that was a pretty cool idea. Shane Douglas defeated Playboy Buddy Rose. Isn't that cool? Yeah, the Undertaker's debut, Justin, exactly. The Warriors, and here's the thing, and I also loved that they had team names. I thought that was fantastic. I loved it. The Warriors, Animal Hawk, Texas Tornado, and Ultimate Warrior defeated the Perfect Team, Axe Crush, Mr. Perfect, and Smash. First of all, the Road Warriors, the Ultimate Warrior, and the Texas Tornado. Talk about a team. Like, that is money. That is the team right there. The Warriors, that's probably my favorite. Just on paper, that sounded like a fantastic team. I haven't watched Survivor Series 90 in a while. I'll probably do that this week. Defeated the Perfect Team, Perfect, Smash, Axe, and Crush. And interestingly enough, Texas Tornado. And so this is what I loved about Survivor Series back in the day. It was a common. It usually served one of two purposes. It was either look at the size of that ham hock. Exactly. Exactly. Good guys versus bad guys. Right. So this is what I loved about Survivor Series back in the day. It was based on one of two things typically. It was either the kind of a culmination of a feud, or it wasn't a culmination. It was kind of adding layers to a feud, like we saw in '87 with Hogan and Andre. It was Hogan's boys versus Andre's boys, basically, and that's how it was to actually add layers to the feud. I'm getting my boys with me to fight with me, or it was just a bunch of feuds thrown together, which was really cool. Like, for instance, the Warriors, Animal Hawk, Texas Tornado, and Ultimate Warrior. So you had Demolition feuding with the Road Warriors. You had you had Texas Tornado feuding with Mr. Perfect at the time. And then you had, the Ultimate Warrior being thrown in with the Legion of Doom, with the 3-man demolition team. So that was really, really cool, man. Yeah, the Gobbledygooker. Oh, that was crazy. So you had $1 Million Team, Honky Tonk Man, Greg Valentine, Ted DiBiase, Undertaker against defeating the Bret Hart, Dusty Rhodes, Coco Beware, and Jim Neidhart. Now the baby faces there was just kind of thrown together. But still, you had like Bret and Honky Tonk Man feuding. And so you had the Hart Foundation and the I think you had Rhythm and Blues at the time. So so you still had like teams together and things like Dusty and DiBiase was real big at that time. You had Dusty and DiBiase, with Sapphire and things like that, and Savage too. So you had teams together. You had feuds all together. Visionaries, Hercules, Paul Roma, Rick Martel, and Warlord, Power and Glory at the time, and then defeating the Vipers, Jake Roberts, Jimmy Snuka, Marty Jannetty, and Shawn Michaels. So you had Power and Glory, and the Rockers, and then you had Snuka and the Warlord was kind of opposite ends, and then you had Roberts and Martel was a big feud at the time. They had the blindfold match. So, yeah, it was just a bunch. It was just a culmination of feuds put together. And I thought that was so amazing. And I really, really liked it. And it's interesting enough that I believe it was 91 that the blindfold match just a few months later at WrestleMania. So. Yeah, man, it was really, really cool, and I think that was one of the things that it was just a culmination of feuds, or just it was just add layers to feuds to eventually culminate. You had the Hulkamaniacs, Bossman, Hogan, Duggan, and Tugboat defeating the Natural Disasters, Barbarian, Dino Bravo, Earthquake, and Haku. And you had some things going on with that, the Earthquake and Hogan feud, and Bravo bringing in Earthquake. So you had a feud again, feuds together. Duggan and Haku was a feud too. So you had that type of feuding against each other. Alliance, Butch, Luke, Nikolai Volkov, and Tito defeated the Mercenaries, Boris Zukov, Sergeant Slaughter, Sato, and Tanaka. And then at the end was the 3-on-5, Hogan, Santana, and Ultimate Warrior defeating Hercules, Paul Roma, Rick Martel, Ted DiBiase, and the Warlord. So that was cool. Really, really, really awesome stuff, man. So basically, all of the Visionaries survived that match, so they went to the end. And then Martel survived on the so the $1 Million Team, Ted DiBiase survived, and then all of the Visionaries. So, and Hogan, Tito, and that was a really big spot for Tito. I was super happy that Tito was able to get that big spot at that main event spot, man. Out of everybody chosen, of all the possible options that was chosen for that night, Tito gets a main event spot with Hogan and Warrior, man, rubbing shoulders with Hogan and Warrior, the main event of the one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. That's pretty crazy, man. That's probably one of Tito's biggest spots. So 30 years ago, isn't that crazy? Yeah, absolutely. All right, y'all. That is the show for tonight. Again, for those who desire for it to be extended, go hit that Patreon. When I cap to more, the more patrons I get, the more show you'll get. So it's been a fun time. Thanks everybody very much. Until next week. Actually, I'll answer this real quick. No, I don't think it killed Survivor Series. I don't. I really don't think that has much to do with it. Because you can still. I mean, you can still do. You can still put, feuds together like it was in typical Survivor Series. You can still put a clunk of feuds together in a traditional 5-on-5 match. Because there's still stipulations to it. There's still extensions to feuds. It's still adding layers to current feuds. And that's how Survivor Series used to be. So, nope, I still think you can still do it now, adding feuds together. So, all right, y'all, it's been fun. And until next week, enjoy your Ricky Wrestling. God bless. And remember, patreon.com/Pancakes and Powerslams. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. And I appreciate your donations. Patreon.com/Pancakes and Powerslams. Shout out to all the patrons. Until next week, thanks for watching. Enjoy your week of wrestling. God bless. Enjoy SummerSlam, Survivor Series. And always remember, I do it for you. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.